Van Steenberg Pirat Triple Hop.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. Today, one from Belgium. I haven't done a Belgian beer in a long time, so I thought I should redress that balance. And I've got one that was brought over, believe it or not, from Germany. And it's the Pirat Triple Hop. I think that's how it's pronounced, Pirat or something, I don't know. But anyway, it translates to pirate, hence the reason you have a ship on ye oldie label. If this fucking autofocus wants to do what it's supposed to effing well do. But yeah, relax. But this is, what kind of beer is this, or what style of beer is it? Well, apparently Belgian IPA is a thing now, which, to be honest, IPA, you know my views on IPA, I really don't have to go over them again. Needless to say, it's just an absolute nonsense. The style is an absolute nonsense. More or less anything can qualify to be an IPA now, and I just, to me, there is only one true IPA, and that is the English IPA. The Americans, they should have called it American Ale, because of basically the only similarity between an English IPA and an American IPA is it's quite heavily hopped. That's the nature of IPAs, and of course this is as well. Now this is quite interesting because the Pirat range was developed by Van Steenberg in 1988 on the success of their Golden Draak range. So if you've ever come across the Golden Draak, they're a very nice range of beers indeed. I've reviewed them all on the channel. They do a very nice quadruple and they do a triple, a dark triple, one of the only dark triples, well, I think to memory, one of the only dark triples that I've ever reviewed. Most times triples are lighter in colour, like a golden colour, but this one was dark. They also done a quad, which was light. So again, go figure, as our American cousins would say. Anyway, Pirat was the range that was built on the success of that, and they did a Pirat original with a black label, which is reviewed on the channel. This was basically brewed to the same recipe using wine yeast.
Wine.
Rosemantic.
Wine. I'm not a hairdresser living up in Dublin. Wine.
Now they use wine yeast in the Golden Draak, and they use it in this range as well. And what they did was basically add 4 different varieties of hops into that. Now, I don't know why you needed to put 4 different varieties of hops in there. Sadly, there's no brew sheet, so I can't tell you what them hops are, so there won't be a rundown of what's in there. But it's a bit of a mystery to me, this type of beer. A, because it's using wine yeast. Now, Belgian yeast is renowned for its spicy esters, the clove, the white pepper that you normally get. There's also what I would consider to be quite fruity esters sometimes that you see on these. But the Belgians use a lot of adjuncts as well, so sometimes it's a little bit difficult to work out where the esters are, where the spice is, where the herbal notes. Normally the herbal notes are sort of coriander. You tend to find orange peel and all manner of other different type of adjuncts. Candy sugar as well being more or less a staple of Belgian beer. But this stuff, they've called it a dry hopped ale. From what I'm reading, they're saying that they're copying the American trend. At least they're honest about it. Personally, I think they don't have to. I think that's a busted flush at the moment. I think the bubbles burst on the whole American hop fruit cocktail type IPA drink. People are just getting wise to it and thinking this is hard work, and it was. I always found them hard work. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some nice ones that you can have sort of 1 or 2, but as for a session IPA, an American session IPA, they're rare in my opinion. Certainly to my taste, they're not what I'm into in a beer. But this stuff, really, that's all I can give you. There's no indication of a brew sheet on the website, so we're really going to be going in blind here. But a little bit about the brewery. They've been going quite a long time. Of course, they do the Gordon Dark and they do their own stuff as well. I think they do a lot of contract brewing as well. But they've been going since 1784, so they've got a little bit of a pedigree. They're from a place called Ertvelt, which is in East Flanders. And that's Percy. Come on, mate, stop tap dancing. And they're based in East Flanders, sort of northeast Flanders. And the history of that is, it was only a small little village, but it was bombed. Here he goes, Uncle Albert talking about the war again. It was bombed in 1940 by the Germans during the Blitzkrieg and the invasion of Belgium, and it was also bombed in 1944 by the Allies as they was pushing into Belgium. In fact, I think it was the Canadians who captured that part of Belgium. Not sure, would need to investigate that further, but needless to say, it got battered during the war. Anyway, that's enough about that. Let's get this investigated. Right, 330ml bottle, 10.5%. Got to be fucking careful with this. Now, the sell-by date on this is the 14th of the 7th. It is now June 2023, so effectively what it's saying is it's got another month left. That's absolute bollocks, because this is bottle conditioned. You could leave this for a long time and it would still be fine, especially with that hefty alcohol content. In fact, I'd go so far as to say this is probably better left for a while. This is probably going to have some very, very strong flavours, some very strong hoppy flavours. And I tend to find that if you leave beers for a while, I've never done it personally, I just don't have the willpower, but I have bought the vintage ale, the Fuller's vintage ale. I've bought older bottles of that, and I've also had the Bakeman's vintage ale as well. And you can, there's a marked difference between beer that's been aged. It's much more rounded and, in my opinion, pleasant to drink. But there you go. Depends what you're going for. If you're going for drinkability, then I'd say go for the aged stuff. If you're going for the flavour, then you need to get the stuff, I wouldn't say fresh, but relatively fresh. But this has got another month on it, so it's got plenty of time to go. It's, as I say, it's 10.5%, so that's going to last ages, in my opinion. And that's really all I can tell you about it, because there's no brew sheet on there. As I say, all I know is it's got wine yeast and it's got 4 different varieties of hops. It says 333 hops in there, but they've also they've added 3 hops. And with the old Pirat, the original Pirat, that's got a single hop in there, I assume. So hence the reason they say there's 4 hops in there. And that's about it. So let's get it open and let's see what's going on. Right, I've got to be careful with this, because I've seen this before where I've taken Belgian beers out of the fridge. They've been very, very volatile because of the yeast in there, and they foam up. So if there's a bit of a panic after this, you know what's happened. All right, so let's fucking attempt to do it. Yeah, it is. That's going to fizz up. You shithouse. Sorry, I can't show you this, but oh, fuck off. And it's gone everywhere. Sorry, I'm going to have to clear this up. Give me 2 minutes. And we're back in the room. That always bloody well happens with these Belgian beers when the weather's warm and you take them straight out the fridge and open them. They do tend to fizz up like that, and that's to do with the change in temperature, the amount of carbon dioxide in here. I've had to pour it all in here. Normally I just pour a little bit out and see what's going on, but I've had to do that. There it is in the glass. Now it's a type of orange colour, if you can imagine that. I can see yeast particles floating about in there. On the nose, wow. Well, the first thing is ethanol. That is one thing that I'm getting straight away. Well, I'm saying that, does ethanol have an aroma? According to the scientists, it doesn't. So that's probably not what I'm smelling. But I'm getting some quite strong yeasty esters from there, like clove. But none of this big hop aroma that I was expecting. I was expecting huge hopped flavours or aromas coming from coming from the beer, but it does smell quite bitter. So I'm wondering what kind of hops they put in here. Now they said this was a tribute to the American hop craze, or the IPA craze, and I'm wondering, are these American hops in here? Because I'm not really getting much of that at all. It's quite bitter, like astringent, grassy, green grass, if you can imagine that. It's calmed down now. That was probably what I was getting initially. Well, it probably wasn't ethanol. That was probably some kind of, I don't know, sulphur maybe? I don't know. But it does smell quite nice. Certainly no nasties on the aroma. What will the flavour be like? Now I should drink this really, because the head will dissipate, what with the warm room and the high alcohol content. So let's get it down the hatch. Bottoms up. Oh fuck. Right, if I couldn't taste it, if I couldn't smell the ethanol, I can definitely taste it. That's just, you always have to write off the first mouthful with a Belgian beer, because especially Belgian beers of this ABV, because the ethanol just dominates everything and your palate needs time to adjust. We'll say there's quite a warming sensation coming from that. You do tend to find that with a lot of the quadruples and strong triples, but it's not bad from first taste. So let's dive in again. It's quite hefty on the candy sugar, I will say that. Almost cloying, and to be honest, there isn't much hop character in this at all. This is just very big on the clove. There's an almost sticky type mouthfeel, if you can imagine that, and it contains, from what I'm getting, quite a hefty amount of candy sugar, and it's giving it that almost treacly type mouthfeel, and I dare I say it, sickly taste as well. Just let me dive in again. Oh, they've gone really big on the candy sugar on this, and I wonder why they've done that. I wonder if that's to offset the quite bitter flavour of the hops that they've put in here. But I have to say, it's really all sugar at the moment, not in a good way either. I can tell that it's really bitter under that. The candy sugar is there to try and even that out, to round it off, because it's really cloying at the moment, and it's a little bit sickly, and I'm not sure whether I like it or not. The sugar content in this, I don't know why it's so big. Maybe they had a taste of it and thought, fuck me, this is bitter, and they thought they needed to put more candy sugar in there. One thing I will say about this, the hop varieties do change every year, so that could be a reason why they don't put the brew sheet on there, because they change the hop ingredients, or the hop types that are put into that, they are adjusted annually due to availability. So that's probably why you haven't got a brew sheet on the website, or anywhere else for that matter. But I don't know what's going on with this. The big thing for me on this is ethanol, candy sugar, and that's about it. I'm struggling to find the hop character underneath all that sugar, and I can tell it's there because there is a bitterness. There's an underlying bitterness to it, but you can almost taste the layers of flavour. You've got the underlying bitterness on there, which is probably coming from the ethanol as well, a combination of your ethanol and the hop content in here, but it's just blown away by a huge layer of candy sugar in that, and to be honest, I don't know why they've done that. I'm just looking at the bottom of this glass, and there is a. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to show you this. Oh no, I thought there's something in the fucking glass. It's the fucking cap, you idiot. That's probably why it ain't tasting too fucking great. You moron. Yeah. There's me thinking it was a whole load of yeast that had settled there. It's not. It's ye olde cap. So I wonder if that metallic element was coming through on there. Let's try again, shall we? Idiot. It fell in there, and I was so keen to get it cleaned up, I forgot to fish it out. Of course, it's made no difference to the flavour at all. There was a bitterness on the back end of it, a slight hop bitterness, but there's just no discernible hops. They say they've put 4 hop varieties in there. I just couldn't tell you what they are. There's no distinction. Don't think they're American. There's no real fruit in there. I'm not getting that. I wouldn't say they're British hops, and really none of a German noble hop character as well. And I'm starting to think, oh, this is a bit of a disappointment. Now, I did like the Gulden Draak stuff. That was really nice. But this, I'm wondering why they've done this. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not against the idea of quite heavily hopped Belgian blondes and Belgian triples. The Duvel hopped variety that they do is very nice indeed. I think they call that a triple hop, or it's got hops in it basically, but it's very nice. I did enjoy that. Certainly had a lot more hop character than this. I just can't get past the candy sugar in this. It's just, there's just too much. No, it's not working for me, and I'm not going to try and get a good flavour out of there. God, the sugar is just, oh, it's just over the top. And I'm imagining why they've put that candy sugar in there is to sort of negate the bitterness from the hops and the ethanol, and they've just gone over the top, and they didn't need to do that. They should have left that slightly bitter, but as it stands now, that's just way too sweet for me. So, what is the verdict on triple hop, Pirat triple hop, I should say, dry hop ale? Well, it could have been good. 10.5%, you're always going to get a big seam of ethanol in that, and yes, that's there. The hop character on there, I can kind of taste it. It is there. There's a bitterness to it, but the candy sugar on this is just way over the top. I think they've just gone mad with it, and I think they've done that to try and, as I say, to negate some of that bitterness, and in doing so, I think they've ruined it personally, and I'm not a fan. And that's a shame, because I haven't done a Belgian beer in a while, and I was quite looking forward to this because I've been reviewing a lot of German beer lately, and I remember thinking I should get back onto some of the Belgian stuff because I haven't done it in a while, and this was going to be it. And unfortunately, it's left me rather cold, to be honest, and I'm not a fan. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. And the reason is, as I keep saying in this video, the sugar content is just too much in this beer. It's ruined it. It's taken away any of the character it's trying to portray, and it's just making it way too sweet. And that's really sad, because I do like Belgian beers. I certainly do like strong triples, and yeah, this just is not doing it for me at all. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. I'm not going to recommend it. I don't know how much it is, but if you do see it, I know that Lidl were doing a box set of the Pirat stuff, and I didn't buy any. And I think they were doing the Gulden Draak as well, so they've obviously got something going on with Van Steenberg. The other stuff in the Pirat range, I do remember the Pirat original. That's not bad. I didn't mind that. And the the Gulden Draak was quite nice as well. But this one, let's let the side down a little bit. So for that reason, it's getting a 3 out of 10, and I'm not going to recommend it. And remember, I'm drinking this shit, so you don't have to.